So Zoe, this first question is for you. Nynaeve is one of the biggest badasses in the entire novel. So how did you approach bringing her to life in the TV show?
That's a wonderful question. Obviously, there's a really amazing active fan base online. And so when I first found out that I was cast, I went immediately to the internet and researched as much as possible. Obviously, we've got 14 incredible books to work with, but I needed something quite quickly. So YouTube was, my buddy for a while. Reddit was also amazing. I found out a lot about her, and it was also really important to understand, avid book readers, like their opinions and thoughts of the character and their first initial thoughts and experiences of her, because I think for a lot of people, it takes a while to warm up to Nynaeve and why she is the way she is. So it opened my eyes to a lot. And then obviously after that, we have the books, we have Rafe, who is the expert, and we have the most incredible scripts to work with. So my job was that.
Yeah, that does help. So Madeleine, Agueen is just coming into her womanhood and is called into this larger world of service and sacrifice. So what were the challenges in portraying her journey?
I think that's another thing that comes back to the amazing casting that has happened on this show. Rafe is so familiar with the characters, and so when he was casting, I think he really knew what to look for in actors. And I say this about every actor that has got a role on this job. There's a part of that character that's in them. So for me, there's a lot of things that I can relate to Agueen about. Her determination, her independence, her wanting to make a difference in the world. So for me, that felt like it was like second nature, with her initiation into the women's circle. This was a huge moment for her. And, she really looks up to Nynaeve, who Zoe plays does an amazing job of playing. And, that is something that is very real life as well. I also look up to Zoe and just think she's the bee's knees. So, I didn't really have to act that hard for that one. But, Agueen she's got so much depth to her, and variety. So she's been an amazing character to sink my teeth into.
Well, I mean, I love the relationship between Agueen and Nynaeve because it's like almost beyond sisterhood. There's times where you can see the tension and the love in it. So, how was it like that to develop that dynamic between the two of you?
Honestly, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, we clicked from the moment we met. I can remember the moment I met you. It was in the kitchen at the studios, and we just hugged immediately. Yeah. And Maddie probably tells the story better than I do, but people actually were coming up to us in our first week of shooting and were like, how long have you guys known each other? And we were like, we just met. So yeah, it hasn't been difficult at all. I feel like our connection is very natural and organic. And yeah, again, the casting was superb. We hadn't done a chemistry read at all together. We hadn't spent time together before we were both brought out to Prague. So yeah, we're super lucky.
Very lucky. Because it is a relationship, like you said. That is what keeps each other alive as they go along. They both keep each other alive. And because out of their love that they have for each other. So it is a dynamic that has to work. And obviously, like all sisters, there's bickering, but there's an intense love at the core of their relationship.
Yeah, that's cool. And this show is so full of magic and action. So was it thrilling to shoot those scenes? And what is your favorite action magic moment?
There's a lot of action and a lot of magic, all of which are spoilers. So I think fans will be really excited with what they're going to see at the beginning of the season. I mean, we start off with a bang like it does in the series. I mean, fans of the books will already know what is coming, but I think fans of the show that are watching this with new eyes are just going to be enthralled by what they see in our pilot. I know for us, we knew what was coming, but even when we were rocked up to set and we're doing it, it was still a shock for us.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're working with crew members who are actually at the top of their game. movement coaches and the stunt team are just next level. So I think, yeah, people are going to be pleased with what we've brought to the screen.
You battle a lot of half man, half beasts called Trollocs in this series. Which one of your characters do you think will kill the most Trollocs by the end of the series?
Ooh. What's a spoiler?
I mean, this is just conjecture because we're 14 books to go. So
who would kill the most? Probably Moraine. I mean, she could kill a Trolloc or two.
She does. Yeah. This is not
how do you
cardio.
No, she knows her way around a Trolloc, I'm sure.
And if you had to face one of those things in real life, what would be your response?
Run.
Run. Yes. No. I don't
yeah.
weapon with me.
No, not on Tuesdays.
No.
So for the other actors, I mean, so much of this script right now, you're not going to be seeing too many of the other characters because the group kind of has a split at some point. But are there any kind of different character dynamics that are really fun to play on screen?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think even in the pilot, there's a lot of relationships that we get to explore in a new depth. I mean, there's maternal and paternal relationships that I think are really, really pure and beautiful, and it really sets the scene for the world that we're in. I love how real and true and relatable a lot of these characters and relationships are. I think that's only going to attract an audience and keep them in, because I mean, there's so much that I've seen even in the first 2 episodes that I'm like, I that resonates with me. I relate to that. And even though it's a fantasy show, it's grounded fantasy, so I think there's something in there for everyone.
Yeah. I think as you're watching the series, you'll get used to 2 characters being together, and then once you're just comfortable with them, they're ripped apart and then someone else, and then that's a whole nother thing that the characters do a pretty amazing full circle arc from the beginning of season 1 to the end. So that's been a real joy to be able to play with different actors.
Wonderful. Well, I'm a huge fan. I read all the books, and now I'm like so enjoying the show. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.